Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. It's me, Eric, one of the education specialists for Easton Bank's Learning and Life Center. And again, welcome back to our channel. For those that have not subscribed yet to the channel, please subscribe today. Also like this video, share this video with those that may be interested in gardening or who have already started their journey in their own personal garden. And thank you for those that have already, sorry, some bugs. Thank you to those that have already subscribed to our channel. In today's video, we're going to be giving you guys a tour, the June tour of the school garden. A lot of things have changed. We have produce coming out of the garden right now. A lot of summer produce like squash and cucumbers, along with Swiss chard and onions and garlic. We have new plants that have just been transplanted out into the garden. We have removed old cold crops, and a lot of things are like really blossoming. So it's really exciting to see, and I want to bring you guys into our space to show you what's been happening. Okay, so starting right here in this section of this long row, we have a mixture, a plethora of different produce right here in this section alone. To the left of me, we have tomatillos growing. We have some squash interplanted in between them. We also have a very small patch of watermelon growing. And then we have our remaining garlic in this area. This is the very last garlic that's been growing here in the garden. We left it, if you watch our previous garlic harvest video, we left it in the ground because it was very small and we just wanted it to get as large as it could. And we also have some more squash to my right. I believe it is a gray zucchini. Actually, to be honest, some of the squash cucurbits that are growing, I'm not really sure what variety they are. I can only tell that this particular plant is a gray zucchini because of the variegated leaves that it has. But when we planted, it was probably like our first group of squash into the garden and cucurbits. We planted them, but then we tilled the soil to transplant all of those plants that we had in the greenhouse. And I forgot that we had the seeds in the ground, and so when I added new compost and all of the additives, those seeds got mixed up, and so they have been popping up everywhere randomly, and I've decided to just let them do their thing. I'm not going to remove them because if I do, they're going to die, because squash really don't like their roots to be messed with. So yeah, we're just going to let them do their thing, and whatever we get to harvest, we get to harvest. All right, moving along, we have a small area of onions, and then we have more onions over there. But this is a small patch of peppers. We have chili peppers, pretty and sweet peppers, bell peppers, and a hot banana pepper. We also have calendula, basil, or garlic. And then we decided to create another three sister patch along with the tomatoes in the back. These are red cherry tomatoes. All of the tomatoes that have been transplanted out after May were in the greenhouse and they were becoming root bound. So we've been trying our hardest to get in the garden and transplant all of the tomatoes so that we can get some type of harvest before, they die back all the way. But we have more bush beans here. We have those squash that I was telling you that were popping up everywhere. We have our corn. I'm going to try to put on the screen what variety of corn this is. This is a different variety than the corn on the other side, where I will show you in a sec. We have basil and sweet marjoram in the front, onions and zinnias, our mustard plants that have gone to seed. And I'm really glad that we left these plants here, because as you can see here, that black stuff on this plant, those are all aphids. And sometimes it's really good to leave old cold crops in your garden which can attract aphids, which means that they won't be attacking other plants in your garden that you're growing. We have some butternut squash down there. I'm gonna, once I harvest the rest of these onions, I'm gonna have to take time to weed this area and remove all these weeds. And we probably will plant more zucchini in this area. We do have some zucchini that has been started in the greenhouse, so those will probably be placed here. More kale. This kale is looking awesome, and I did not notice this squash plant. Look at that. Look how big it is. It's beautiful. I didn't even notice it. So cool. We have okra, more peppers, and a mixture of flowers and herbs like alyssum, which attract parasitic wasp. And those parasitic wasp prey on hornworms, so that's why we put them along the edge of those tomatoes. So if we do get any hornworms this year, which we haven't, knock on wood, but if we do, those alyssums should attract those parasitic wasps. We have that zinnia there. That's a Maritza zinnia, I believe. And just look how beautiful this looks. Look at that. Like we created that walkway right there so that we can access both sides. That's so beautiful. Everything is growing wonderfully in this area. We have basil mixed in and some dill. And look at this dark opal basil. So pretty. And then we have our root crops right here. We have beets in the back, which are doing pretty well. We're gonna harvest them in probably another 2 weeks maybe, hopefully, before they bolt, go to seed. We have radishes that have already gone to seed. We're gonna continue letting them go to seed so we can collect those seeds. And then turnips mixed in with more radishes in the back, more baby radish. We're gonna harvest some of that today for the family that will be donating to this evening. Moving along, we have a mixture, a myriad of Swiss chard, which, look at this Swiss chard. Like, if you're not growing Swiss chard during the summer months, you're missing out, because it tastes similar to spinach. It's similar to spinach in both its texture and taste. And the leaves get so big, and it's quite easy to grow. We have some sweet marjoram, some dill. Where's the dill? Dill right there. And then our artichokes are doing very well, even though they have leaves that are yellowing. But for the most part, the artichokes have taken, and they are doing very well. And then we have our other okra over here, which have already put on leaves and are producing fruit, which you can see right there. They're all producing, which is so awesome to see. We have cucumbers growing. We have cantaloupe that is starting to produce fruit, actually set fruit. Don't mind the noise in the back, guys. Sorry about that. But we have, like I said, cantaloupe growing, and it's setting more and more fruit, like here, and some in the back there. And then this huge one right here. This is the very first cantaloupe that started to grow. So we're actually probably going to feed this with more fertilizer soon, as well as the corn and bush beans that are producing. Bush beans normally set all of their flowers at once, like you see here, and the fruit at once. So it's already starting to produce the beans. And once it sets all of the beans, sets all of the fruit, we'll just do one good sweep of it all, and then remove it and put new beans in its place. The corn is getting bigger. We still don't have tassels yet. It's getting bigger and bigger, so that's really good to see. No pests yet. If you do follow us on TikTok, we have made a video where showing you guys that one of our gray zucchini plants have been attacked by some vine borers. They haven't moved to the other plants, which I'm thankful for. But yeah, so we're dealing with that. We already sprayed our BT, and hopefully that does some good for us. But we do have more fruit on the plants, as you see, and we did have to open up the flowers because the bees couldn't actually get inside to reach the pollen. We're going to harvest some Swiss chard, and then we planted some acorn squash, spaghetti squash, yellow straight neck squash, and Ford Hook zucchini squash in this area. So soon we'll be having more squash to harvest. Over here we have beans trellising on the fence, which we need to harvest as well. We also have red beans growing, some zinnias, calendula, sweet marjoram, Swiss chard, and borage. Moving over here towards the row section of the garden, in-ground rows. This row is interplanted with kale, mustard greens, well, one mustard green plant, collards, some carrots, Swiss chard, tomatoes, and what else? Alyssum and some thyme. Most of the cool crops were removed, like the lettuce. We only have a few lettuce plants in here because they were doing pretty well. They were bouncing back from previous harvest. So yeah, that's that row. This row has onions and tomatoes. We have one onion that is flowering, going to seed, so we're going to collect some seeds from that. But we're going to go ahead and snap off this seed head because we don't want more. The tomatoes here, like I mentioned earlier, they were root bound, and so they are taking quite a while to bounce back, but they are bouncing back. As you can see, they are producing that nice green foliage, which is great to see. The onions will be harvested next month because they are taking quite a while to bulk up. This is another row that is interplanted. We have some kale, collards, one broccoli plant that's still growing and producing a head of broccoli. Hopefully that gets bigger. We have peppers, a mixture of peppers, one Swiss chard plant, two, some alyssum, tomatoes, and dill. Over here we have snap peas that we need to harvest. This will be the last harvest that we do because it's getting warmer and they do not like warm weather. So we're going to do one nice harvest. These onions are doing awesome. These were actually green onions that we purchased from the grocery store, and they decided to get bigger. So we're going to harvest some of the green tops, but we're going to let the bottom parts continue to bulk up. And then our lovely tomatoes. These tomatoes have gotten bigger and bigger. We have had to do some pruning in terms of removing dead leaves like this because it just spreads to all the other plants and we don't need that. And we got fruit. There's fruit everywhere on the vertical trellis. We did find, there's another one. So I believe this is the 4th of July tomato variety. And it's already showing signs of calcium deficiency. Well, the blossom end rot, which is a sign of calcium deficiency. We actually put the calcium nitrate in the soil before we actually even planted the tomatoes, but clearly that didn't really do that much for them. So we got to find a different method of providing calcium to these plants because we don't really want to deal with the end rot this year. I'm gonna hurry up and finish because these mosquitoes, woo, and I wore shorts, which is not smart. In our last row, we have hot banana peppers, which are growing fabulously. We are going to get a great harvest from that. Chili peppers, the serrano peppers, bell peppers, they're all blossoming. And the eggplants at the end, they're blossoming as well. These actually have thorns on the leaves and the petals. Well, not the petals, but the leaves and the base of the plant. So we're gonna have to be careful with harvesting those eggplant. Well, you guys, that is the video. Thank you so much for joining us on this June tour here in the garden, in the school garden. This harvest, which is full of snap peas, green beans, Swiss chard, collard greens, dill, onions, garlic, some cucumbers, and a gray zucchini will be going to a family tonight. So I really hope they enjoy this produce in order to make some meals out of it for them and their family. And if you would like to donate, which will help our program, Project G.R.A.P.E program, which is a program focused on teaching youth here in our community how to garden and create sustainable lives and to be leaders in their community and their households, click the link in the description box and it will take you to our donation website where you can give as much as you would like. All of the funds donated go back into the community, back into our program to help families experiencing hunger. Thanks again for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to like this video and share this video. We cannot grow this channel without your help, so make sure that you share, and click the notification bell to be notified of when we drop new videos, which is every single week. Follow our socials. We can be found on Instagram and Facebook at EBLLCINC and on TikTok at Project G.R.A.P.E. Until next time, we'll see you guys later in the garden. Bye.